Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Active Quest episode 84. I'm one of your hosts, Joseph Yaden. Joining me today is the mad scientist, Chris Penwell. We're on video right now, and he pulled his hair all up, and he looks crazy. Hello, Chris. How's it going?
Yes, I'm doing well. I think my friend Professor Engine is doing well as well. Yep. I'm doing good.
Sure.
My
good.
Brain's frazzled from the heat right now, but I'll carry on forward.
It was 100 degrees, right?
I was just joking. I was just making fun of your stupid temperature system. It should be Celsius. It makes sense. 0 degrees is like where, like, just above freezing.
Yeah,
is that freezing point? Below that is like cold. Above that is warmer. That makes sense.
I understand.
Yeah, it's like 52 degrees is cold. What? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Joining us as well is Mr. Josh, the masked Mr. Josh Nichols. Hello, Josh.
Take it off. Maybe it won't sound as good. Maybe if I have my mask on. But yeah, I thought since we're so close, we should wear masks. Maybe.
Yeah, Batman. Perhaps. I will kill you, Batman. I'm Bane. I'll get the back.
Oh goodness, yeah, that was a movie. That was definitely a movie. So thank you everybody for joining us today. We're gonna talk about some video games. This was a busy week, I feel like. Don't you guys think? I think it was really busy.
We've got a lot of games to review over the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, there was a Nintendo Direct that was Mario themed, and that was awesome. We got Marvel's Avengers. We got Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Bunch of other stuff. There's lots of news to get into. Some PS5 news, games with gold stuff. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. There's going to be a Ubisoft Forward this week by the time you guys hear this episode. There's a lot to
Can't wait for all that Ghost Recon news. Let's go.
Can't wait for all
Can't
that
wait to see Watch Dogs. Can't wait to see Rainbow Six. Let's go. I'm so hype.
No,
I'm not hype.
I really hope we get Splinter Cell stuff. That'd be
great.
So yeah, we appreciate everybody for joining us. Remember, you can always find our show on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, pretty much anywhere where you find podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter at ActiveQuestShow. Get a hold of us via email at activequestpodcast@gmail.com. And remember to keep those ratings coming on iTunes so we can be forced to play games we don't want to play. like Chris. So you're going to be playing Red Dead, right?
By the time this comes out, I would have played Red Dead on stream. You can check out the VOD there, I guess. I got to set that to VOD actually now. You just remind me of that. But yeah, that should be fun, I guess. I don't know. Maybe
not. I don't know.
Join the streams that I'm going to be doing of Red Dead because I'll need your emotional support.
Are you going to be playing it again after?
Yeah. I think I at least have to do 2 streams of it, you know.
And then once you fall in love with it, you'll just keep playing it, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good. I think I think if you get into it, you'll really like it. But if you're either going to love it or hate it, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things you're going to have to either to like to keep playing. And if you like those things, you'll like the story because the story's good and the acting's good. I just ignore his yawns now. The story's good and the acting's good and the writing and the music. So basically, as long as you like the gameplay, you'll be all in. If you don't like the gameplay, then you should at least watch a playthrough of it. Like people edit those little
long ass
things together, you know, with the cutscenes. You could watch something like that maybe. Because the story's good.
That'd be a long movie.
Long video. So I mentioned that it's been a busy week. Has everybody had a good week? Josh, you said you're more well rested than usual?
Yeah, my work was like, we know that people need to work overtime for us to be caught up on everything, but what if we just, instead of cracking down on like 2 people that are maybe abusing it, we'll just get rid of it for now. So I've been playing even more video games. I've been sleeping more. And
beautiful.
Yeah, I'm level 49 on my battle pass. Fortnite's going great. This season's fun.
Yeah, it's a good season. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about Groot wearing Baby Groot though. I don't usually have that equipped because it's kind of weird.
It's a bit strange.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a couple of just quick things to get into before we jump into the news proper. There aren't that many news stories, really, just because one of them is just us going through the direct. But yeah, like I said before, there's going to be a Ubisoft Forward on September 12th, so this week by the time you guys hear that, or by the time you guys hear this, and it's rumored that Prince of Persia is going to make an appearance there. As noted by Jason Schreier on the Triple Click podcast. So that might be a thing. The other thing that's worth mentioning as well is, this is so bizarre, and I don't know that I've ever recall this happening before, but the Ubisoft game Gods and Monsters is apparently being renamed to Immortals Fenyx Rising, which I think is a way worse name, and it's apparently coming out on December 3rd. I don't know if that's true, but it's apparently going to be at the Ubisoft Forward, and maybe they'll go through all of that stuff there. That's kind of bizarre to me that they're changing the name of it.
I actually dislike the
name.
name a lot. Like, it actually made me lose a little bit of interest in the game, because I was like, oh, I don't know if I like Fenyx Rising. I liked Gods and Monsters, but...
Yeah. Even though, like, Fenyx Rising is technically a more creative name, I actually liked Gods and Monsters better. I don't know.
Well, and also
like
they gave us that like a year ago, so we've had time to sit with that. You know?
Yeah. So I don't know. What else? Today, CD Projekt Red announced that The Witcher 3 is coming to next gen, and it's going to be a free upgrade. So free upgrade within the same family. So
that's
Xbox
crazy.
One to Series X, PS4 to PS5. So that's awesome. The other cool thing is that Resident Evil Village is going to be making an appearance at Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah.
And let me get the date on that, just so I can give everybody the info.
September 27th, somewhere around there.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Oh, okay. I've got an excerpt here. This is PlayStation Lifestyle, Brianna Reeves. Tokyo Game Show 2020 online kicks off later off in the month on September 24th. During the event, Capcom plans on broadcasting 2 different streams. One will go live on Saturday, September 26th from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Pacific. And then the other one is September 27th from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Yeah.
And there's a bunch of other stuff that is going to be hovering around Tokyo Game Show. It's going to be digital, but we're also going to be seeing Babylon's Fall, Platinum Games' new game. That's the character action game. We're going to be seeing more of Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. And I think Microsoft is going to have a 60-minute showcase somewhere around there too. So there's a lot to look forward to.
That's plenty of time to reveal the price. A whole hour.
The what?
The price.
That would be, that would be so ballsy to do that in Japan. Holy shit!
That would be...
I could see it happening because Phil was in Japan for a while doing who knows what. Maybe they were figuring out the price.
Getting all friendly over there. What else? Let's talk about some Avengers stuff. So there was a war table, which is sort of their like showcase thing that they do for Avengers. And the launch. The launch war table they did revealed that Kate Bishop is going to be added as the game's first additional player or additional character.
Hawkeye is going to be the first one.
Oh, I thought they labeled her as the first one.
Oh.
Oh, you know what? Maybe they're going to be coming in at the same time. Let's see.
I think because they're very related to each other. So I think it could be Hawkeye and Kate Bishop.
Let me make sure. Well, I mean. One of the earlier characters. Yeah, I've got a story from Eurogamer here. Quote, Marvel's Avengers will add Hawkeye herself, Kate Bishop, to its growing roster of heroes in October. Bishop's story missions will also introduce Clint Barton, who will then become playable in November. So yeah.
Oh, okay, I was wrong.
Kate Bishop's coming. No, it's cool. Kate Bishop's coming out in October, who is basically Hawkeye's protege, and then Clint Barton will be playable in November. So that's cool. I
have a theory as well that we'll go into about who was supposed to be the first character they were going to show during that. But
We'll get into that. So a bunch of new PlayStation Now games you can check out. One of which is Resident Evil 7 and Final Fantasy 15. So that's cool. The other ones, let's see. Oh, WWE 2K19.
Yep. The one that isn't buggy. That was the one before 2K20. And also is Observation is the next one, and that's like a sci-fi game where
Sci-fi
you're
kind of
taking
game.
control of an AI on a spaceship.
Yeah.
So that's all sound cool.
And then the Games Pass games here. There's a bunch of stuff here. Jackbox Party Pack 4, Hot Shot Racing, which am I allowed to say we have a code for that?
I think so.
Okay, so we might be playing that. Destiny 2, which is a big deal. Tell me
And
why
all the
Chapter
DLC.
2 and 3. Yeah. Chapter 2, tell me why Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. Resident Evil 7 as well. World War Z, Disgaea 4, Crusader Kings 3, which just came out.
That
People
got
are really
really
liking that game.
raving reviews for that one.
So yeah, Xbox Game Pass is killing it, of course. Josh, do you like Xbox Game Pass?
I love Xbox Game Pass. It's probably my favorite thing besides me.
What is Xbox Game Pass, Josh? Is it the best deal in gaming?
It's not only the best deal in gaming, it's also the second best deal in gaming. That's how good of a deal it is. It's first and second.
That doesn't make any sense.
PlayStation Now is the fourth best deal in gaming. The third best deal in gaming is Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. All right, yeah, because Taco Bell does have good gaming sweepstakes. Yeah.
And then GameFly, and then PlayStation Now.
Taco Bell has really gone down the toilet. They got rid of a bunch of stuff on
cheesy
menu.
potatoes.
Most of their food goes down the toilet as well in a really bad way.
Holy moly! All right. With that in mind, why don't we jump into some news? Are you guys ready?
Yep. Good to go.
All right, let's get into some. Okay, first story here. This is also Ubisoft related because it's they're sort of the ones who did some of the leaking here, which normally their games get leaked. So it's kind of coming full circle here. Apparently the PS5 isn't going to be backwards compatible with PS3, PS2, or PS1 games, according to Ubisoft, which I honestly kind of am not surprised about. But let's get into this story here. I've got a Polygon story from Michael McWhorter here. It reads, quote, Sony's next-gen PlayStation will feature some level of backward compatibility with PS4 games, but PlayStation 5 owners may not get the full 25 years of backwards compatibility they may be dreaming of. According to a support FAQ on Ubisoft's website, the PS5 will not be backward compatible with the original PlayStation, PS2, or PS3 game. Yeah, and so what was interesting is that Ubisoft actually went back and deleted that line on their FAQ on the FAQ website. So if you click on it now, that line isn't there. And so some were thinking, oh, maybe they were wrong and it is going to be backwards compatible, or maybe just Sony was just like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
You guys leak your own
Stop
stuff.
it.
Don't leak ours.
Yeah, so I still agree, or I still believe this is real, that it's not going to be backward compatible with PS3, PS2,
But why would
PS1
they even
games.
mention that? That's what I don't understand.
Why would Ubisoft mention that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I don't know if they were trying to throw people a bone. like we know you guys are starving for information, and they're trying to help out. I have no idea. It was kind of a weird thing. But you'll recall a couple years, or maybe a year and a half ago or something, Sony said something to the effect of we're working on backwards compatibility.
They did a bunch of patents as well for that stuff. So they've been working on it.
But they specifically said we're working on it.
Right.
So it's not we've got it, it's gonna happen. It's we're working on it. So this doesn't surprise me. I don't know. The other thing that I think is true with this is that I think people at the start of a generation act maybe it's not even an act, they really do want backwards compatibility, but then data shows that they don't actually use it when it is implemented. So I don't know how big of a deal this is, although I will say with PS4, I think it needs to be backwards compatible with
the reason why is because you got all those games as a service titles on there that are
right.
I need Rainbow Six in my life.
Or whatever. Yeah, I mean, all your digital games you bought.
Yeah.
What do you think, Josh? Do you think this is bullshit, or do you believe that? Do you believe that it's not going to be backwards compatible?
I think it's probably accurate, but I am very disappointed. I understand that maybe they didn't do it for PS4 because that was before it was as much of a conversation thing. But I think it's pretty clear now that at the very least there should be a system people could buy that costs more that is backwards compatible. Make it an option at least because it's something a lot of people might not. It might not be everybody that likes it, but a lot of people there's enough people that like it for it to be part of the conversation. It's a very important thing for me. I really, really like being able to just, oh, cool, there's that game I haven't, I never got to play that I bought a long time ago, and I can play it now, and it's going to load faster and maybe even look better, Like The Witcher. Yeah. I love that I can just play that later. That's so cool.
Right.
They're probably, I think the thing is, with these consoles, though, they're going to be so expensive, so they're probably cost-cutting as much as they can, and
Microsoft's done it all without hardware, though.
Yeah, but
so what are they doing that Sony
that's
can't
R&D and stuff,
I think your point is taken, Josh, because when the Xbox One came out, it wasn't like designed to be backwards compatible, and yet they still figured it out.
Yeah.
So like after the fact, I mean, I think your point is valid. I think that look at this. Xbox One is backwards compatible, or sorry, Series X is backwards compatible with Xbox One, Xbox 360, and the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And that gives me more confidence when I buy stuff. Because like 6 months ago, it might have been more than 6 months ago, but Phil Spencer said everything that plays in Xbox One will play in Series X. I started buying all my third-party games on Xbox, even if I kind of wanted it in PlayStation, because I'm like, I know this will work in a few years on my new Xbox.
Right. Yeah, and so that's the thing.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Chris. Sorry, I'm just really upset because PlayStation's got so many games. Yeah, and if I could just download them and play them, I wish I could.
Yeah.
They don't care about like their history really. The preservation they've shown throughout this generation. Like they don't care about their PS3 titles.
And the other
it would have been nice to have an Infamous collection. It would have been nice to have a Killzone collection.
Resistance.
Or something Sly Cooper related or Ratchet and Clank. Like
and there was a while
any of these games.
There was a while where they were like, well, we'd prefer to remake games. Okay, if you remake every fucking game, then I'm in. But you're not going to. So whatever you're not going to remake, then make it playable.
Right. And what's odd too is even with PS4 titles, the quote was something like the overwhelming majority of like what the what
it probably means like all first party games and like some third party games, but it's frustrating.
Who knows what's going to happen with that? I think people need to brace themselves for disappointment when it comes to the backwards compatible front, just because we've seen the way Sony handles things when it comes to software. Like, look at how they handled renaming, changing your PSN ID.
It took them 10 years.
Kind of a mess. Yeah, and it's like not great still. Like, I don't know. They just don't have it on the software.
They're not very forward thinking, really, because like with the PS3, that core architecture really fucked them over.
Horseshit.
PS2 had its own technology. Like, it's really tough to do anything with that kind of stuff.
This sounds like a compliment for Xbox, but I'm actually meaning it as a statement of understanding for PlayStation. Xbox is, they're Microsoft. This is their thing. Hardware and software. Right. They've been doing this forever. So, like, I get if PlayStation maybe isn't comfortable or doesn't know how to do this stuff. I just wish that they would pay someone to do it. Hire a company to do it. I understand that they don't, hardware and some software stuff might not be, like, their thing. But, like, pay another company to do it.
Or put your whole bloody
Microsoft to do it.
From the PS3 and the PS2, first-party library on PlayStation Now.
Yeah, that would be fine too.
You can't play the first Ratchet and Clank game, Tools of Destruction. You can't play Mod Nation Racers. You can't play PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. There's quite a lot of their back catalog that you can't play anymore.
They could seriously be like, hey,
at least.
Every GTA game is only available on PlayStation. Because I know there was Chinatown Wars and stuff on DS, but I'm just saying they've got GTA 1, they've got GTA 2, they've got the original Rayman was on PlayStation. Like, they could use their library from 1996 to now as like a huge pillar,
Yeah. And from the games they've shown so far for the PS5, it doesn't seem like they have much of a big lineup coming up for the first year.
Weird that the game I'm most excited about is a remake.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I'm still really excited. So anyway, we'll see how that goes down, but I am bracing myself for disappointment. Next up, let's talk a little bit about Avengers. We're going to be talking about Avengers here and there throughout this whole show here. This is a cool story, and Chris, is actually by you over at The Gamer. Marvel's Avengers might get more black heroes in the future. So I'm going to read a little bit of this and we can talk.
It's just to start off, I guess, my editor-in-chief, Kirk, he did an awesome interview with someone from the team at Crystal Dynamics, so please check that out. It's a really good interview.
Director, the director of the...
Okay, I forgot, so I just want
Felipe Therian? Fuck, I'm sorry.
Therian.
All right. Yeah. So let's read a little bit of this here and then we'll talk about it. Quote, there's a giant treasure trove of Marvel characters to choose from when designing a game like Marvel's Avengers, but so far, the main cast has no black leads. During our interview with Felipe Therian, hope I'm saying that right, sorry, the Warzone's director of the game, he chimed in on whether or not we will see any black heroes. Quote, I think there's such a cool, diverse array of heroes that I would answer yes without giving specifics because there's just so many cool heroes. End quote, said Therian, when asked about the possibility of a black character. Quote, I think people are going to be really excited to see what we come up with, end quote. He also mentioned that people will be pretty surprised and excited when they find out who the next character will be. Whether or not what he said in response to this question is linked to the next hero being black is unclear. Yeah, let's keep going here. Nick Fury has been revealed to be a part of this universe from Crystal Dynamics as the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., but he is currently not playable within the game. He could be a badass melee fighter with gunplay like Black Widow.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with you. So, Chris, what was your theory on this? Because you mentioned that earlier, that you had a little bit of a theory on who you thought the first character would be, and then,
Yeah, so during the recent War Table, their live stream for announcements for the Avengers, they started off with a tribute for Chadwick Boseman.
Right.
And I feel like Black Panther was supposed to be the character that they were going to show, because they had a logo ready and everything.
Yeah.
And I no offense to Kate Bishop fans, but I don't think she's very surprising, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just think like Black Panther being the first character would be really cool.
Right, and then you're thinking that they maybe went back, they pulled it back just for timing
just because
purposes.
With Chadwick Boseman passing away, it's kind of like bad timing.
Might seem disingenuous too.
Exactly, yeah. So they went with delaying the announcement until later. That's just a prediction. It's my theory. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, we'll probably never know if that actually was the case, but yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I'm all for it. You mentioned in your article Blade.
Yeah,
that'd be a cool.
He'd be
character.
sick.
I keep thinking of Miles Morales, but I know that's a whole fucking can of worms.
Spider-Man being exclusive to PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I totally think this is awesome. And I love your if you guys go check out the article, your Photoshop job you did here of Blade in the featured image. It's great. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't, off the top of my head, know of any other Black Marvel characters, but
Luke Cage
definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, Luke Cage. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, there are definitely some to choose from, and you know what they could do is they could make a character black, like in the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. The Kingpin was black, and that was fine.
That was Michael Clark Duncan too. That role was perfectly cast. Man, he was so
fucking
great.
awesome. R.I.P. Michael Clark Duncan. But yeah, that was awesome. Nick Fury, he'd
be a sick character. If you've seen that scene from Captain America, I think the second one, you can see he's a badass.
It's one of my favorites too. Winter Soldier is fucking amazing.
With Soldier, that's a fantastic action film.
Even if you don't like
MCU films,
it's like a really good James Bond movie. Basically, it's fucking.
It's a spy thriller. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is a good idea, and I think, I mean, this is a prime game to have more diverse characters. I mean, look at the lead role. Like, she's fucking awesome.
She's great.
Kamala Khan.
Yeah.
But like, dude, she like steals the show for me in that game. Honestly, like, I think she's so awesome. Like the other characters are fine, like they're well acted and all that, but she is like fucking awesome. Up
Do
there
you think
with,
the
like,
marketing
Ellie from The Last of Us and
was
all that.
off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I certainly do. Yeah, Josh, you need to play it.
Yeah, I'm going to for sure at some point. I think being inclusive and diversity, and there's so many great things about having people of color and LGBT representation and stuff too. Like it's super good for a million reasons. But one thing that always really touches my heart is seeing the pictures of younger people, like kids. Like I saw so many pictures where there were kids that were like dressed up as Wonder Woman at the premiere, and like they were so excited.
Yeah.
It just representation is really important, and if you grow up and you don't see yourself presented as a hero at anything, then you don't feel like you can be a hero,
Right.
Yeah.
That's really important. And I think as a kid, like when you're like learning, like, and soaking all this information up, you see the Avengers and they're just a bunch of white dudes.
Yeah, and you're like, okay.
I think just on a pure entertainment factor, it's way more interesting to have a diverse cast, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, hopefully that'll be a thing. I would love to see Black Panther in Avengers. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hopefully we'll see that come to fruition. All right, let's talk about this direct, because this direct was fucking just bonkers. I think like it was just it was dude. It was like what everybody wanted. Like I don't know. When it comes to Mario
I
stuff,
think everybody got something. We could at least agree on that.
Yeah,
everybody got to go. Okay, cool. I wanted that to happen.
I know what you're thinking, Chris, and we can talk about that because I think the criticisms are fair. And there actually is one thing in here that's fucking insane to me. So we'll touch on that too. So anyway, there was like a 15-minute direct, all Mario related, in celebration of the 35th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers on the NES. And yeah, we'll just go through the announcements here. Some of them we don't really have to talk a whole lot about. There's a couple that we should spend a little bit more time on. Obviously, the big news is Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which is a collection of three 3D Super Mario games. Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Galaxy are all packaged together, being sold for $60. And this is the kicker with this. It's available September 18th, so a week after this episode goes live, which is really awesome. But it's only available for a limited time, both physically and digitally.
Yeah.
It will only be available until March 31st, 2021.
That's not the biggest kicker for me, but we'll get onto that soon.
I think that's the biggest kicker for me. I mean, do you think that means something else?
I think Alana Pierce's theory might be correct. She was saying something that it could be because of a financial quarter. Everybody buy this game before the end of the financial quarter because it will make people buy more stuff.
I understand that. But what are you saying that they're lying? That it isn't?
Oh no,
available?
I think it probably will be, but I think that's probably why. It's probably like a financial shareholder type sales thing. The only other thing I can think of that I think could be the other strong possibility is maybe they don't want this sitting around on store shelves like other M in years. Maybe they'd rather keep stock limited so people that want it buy it, and then scalpers don't mess with it. I don't know.
Scalpers gonna mess with it big time.
Yeah, I understand that, but why digitally? Why restrict it digitally? I don't understand.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you say that distinction. I'm sorry.
I was listening to Jeff Grubb's podcast today.
Grubb. And
they came up with he came up with a really good theory.
Okay, what's that?
Slap it on me.
So, what I think his co-host was talking about this too, actually. But the theory is that they're actually bringing these games to the actual Nintendo Switch Online service later on.
Yeah.
So, if they did that, if they left that available after March 31st, I think it is.
Yeah.
Then it wouldn't be as special for them to launch this GameCube service, or launch this Wii service on the Switch.
Basically, okay, so what you're saying is these games are going to be available afterwards, just separately in a different form. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. But if you want to just sell the package for a limited time, totally fine. But let us buy those games later. Like, what if you don't get a Switch till next year?
Yeah.
What, do you just fucked out of these things?
Here's another factor that I'm really pissed off with, actually, about this.
What's that?
If you read the fine print, and I'm really mad they didn't mention this, you can't play it with the Switch Lite unless you have detached Joy-Cons.
No, that's incorrect.
It's on the actual
I
store
saw
page,
it, but I also saw it clarified that that'll be playable without motion controls, though. So that
I
should
saw something about.
But at the same time,
about the co-op.
Yeah, I know. It says it can't be played with motion controls, but at the same time, like, it says that you can't play with a Switch Pro unless it's the Joy-Cons are detached. So, which is it?
I think the distinction is probably
the messaging is really
mode.
bad. Yeah,
that's what I think. I think it'll be you can't do the little helper mode in Mario Galaxy if you can't detach them. That's what I think it's going to be. Well, while you're looking too, I'm going to say this. That's the game I'm most excited about. So everybody online, like, who cares at Mario Galaxy? Fuck you. I do. Mario Galaxy
I do.
Was
awesome.
That game is so
fantastic.
Good. It's amazing. It's so good. Like, that's probably the one I'm excited about the most in that trilogy. The other games are great too, but I'm just super excited.
I would say that game has aged really well. Like, the graphical style still looks great.
It does, yeah. The only thing that was holding that back a bit in the day was resolution, which I'm hoping will be probably kind of...
Yeah, it's going to be fixed.
Here's the statement I found. It says, quote, Super Mario Galaxy is supported in TV, tabletop, and handheld modes.
Yeah. In
TV and tabletop modes, motion controls are required for pointer functionality. In handheld mode, pointer functionality has been adapted to use the touchscreen.
Yeah, so it sounds like Chris just has to use touchscreen if he wants to do that stuff.
Yeah,
but you could still play the game.
Doesn't make it very clear.
Yeah, it's not very clear.
Well, I think we all agree Nintendo could have better messaging. That's like their biggest problem.
Well, I'm scared to buy it because I don't know if it's going to work on my system. That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that'll get clarified before it comes out, right? I mean, I would hope.
Yeah.
We'll report back on that when we find out more information. We don't want to give anybody bad info, but yeah, it's like hard. I googled it. We couldn't. I don't know.
Chris, it's good you brought that up because I'm sure other people are wondering. The same thing. That's a valid concern, and it makes sense to be like, hey.
But this collection looks awesome. At the same time, I looked at the resolution difference, and it's quite staggering. With what they've done with the models, especially with Super Mario 64.
That game looks like Muddy Asshole if you play it in N64 now. It's super blurry.
Muddy. So, all right, let's go through some of these other announcements. We'll just quickly go through them because a lot of them were just like quick notes.
I would like to say though before that I just wish they went with the Crash Insane trilogy route instead, or like completely remake them from the ground up. That was a dream.
They'll probably do that at some point and charge you more for it.
But
that's the only reason I'm not as bummed, Chris, is because they could still do that later. In the meantime, this brings these games to a current system, so that way they're not as behind in terms of.
And that might be why it's limited.
Yeah,
they might.
Maybe they're going to rework
them. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's go through some more of these announcements here. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. This is so cool. So basically, this is like we were talking about this before. It's like AR basically, and you have a real RC car that you drive around your house, and there's a camera on it, and you can see like what the camera sees on your Switch, and you control it from your Switch. So it's like you're like actually driving a little RC car, and you can see the camera, and it's all AR, so it looks like it's Mario Kart. And there's a Luigi car as well, and like a little track you can set up and stuff. It looks so freaking cool. Like, I'm so excited.
Raj is gonna be an obstacle. Your cat.
Oh yeah. He's probably gonna be too scared of it. So that comes out.
That's actually why I'm not buying it. I have cats. Like, I won't be able to play that. But it looks really cool. The thing I'm most excited about with that game is I'm looking forward to all the YouTube videos. Like, we're playing Mario Kart at the cemetery. We're playing Mario Kart at the mall. Like, people are gonna bring that everywhere. We're gonna see cool videos.
Shit.
So that'll be out October 16th for $99.99.
Oh, that's not too bad. I thought that was gonna cost more.
Yeah. Game & Watch Super Mario Bros. There's like a new Game & Watch coming out with a couple of Mario games on there. That thing's kind of cool. That'll be out November 13th. This was interesting. Super Mario 3D World Plus Bowser's Fury. So this is a remaster of Super Mario 3D World, which is an underrated Wii U game that a lot of people need to play. And
it's a remaster of one of the best 3D Marios, is what it is.
No.
Yeah.
Wash
Plain
your
and
mouth
simple.
out. Oh my god.
One of the
no.
best. Top 5.
No.
Top 3. Top 1.
Okay, I played the first 5 or 6 levels. I haven't played
That's where
it
you
all.
fucked up. You got to play
But
the whole
like,
game.
it's very, very boring.
Yeah, but if
It's
you don't
very, very
if you
boring.
don't play the whole game, you don't know if the whole game's good. I played the whole game, and I'm a Catman, Mario Man, Supreme.
But
Yeah,
I don't
that
like
game's
the
great.
idea of being in the top-down view with 4-player co-op.
Well, you don't
Mario
have to
game.
play with a 4-player co-op, though.
I know,
It
but
works.
it's set like that. It's made.
It
like,
works really
Just
well.
be a furry and run around the world.
I
Cat
really
Mario
like
thing,
it.
so I don't get me started about that. That's so stupid.
So it's gonna have the same co-op gameplay from the original, and then there's gonna be whatever this Bowser's Fury is. It's
Big
like
DLC?
an additional. Yeah, it's an additional mode. So this will be out February 12th, and there's gonna be a Cat Mario and Cat Peach amiibo that comes out at the same time. So that's awesome.
But you know, I'll give it another go. I found
It's
something
good.
that's interesting. Like Game Explain, like they compared the Wii U version and what they showed in the trailer, and it's actually 30% faster apparently,
Yeah,
which is surprising.
So that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really recommend. I'm so glad that game is getting a second life because it's really good.
I'll
The
give
only
it a
thing
go.
missing now is Devil's Third and Kirby, right? For Wii U ports.
God damn.
Xenoblade. Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Oh yeah, Xenoblade. Okay, Devil's Third,
And the
then
Zelda
and-
stuff.
Xenoblade, then Kirby.
Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I hope that we get those at a Zelda thing, because
So,
we're coming up on an
next
anniversary
year.
for Zelda. Yeah.
Yeah, next year. All right, couple more to get through here, and then we'll take a little break. Super Mario Bros. 35. This is the original Super Mario Bros. With 35 players, and it's like a competitive
That's
battle
cool.
thing. So that'll be playable until March 31st. You can play that through Nintendo Switch Online. The original Super Mario All-Stars, the SNES game, that is out now. You can play that. What else? There's some new merch you can get. Some cool shoes. Mario shoes. Those look really cool.
Mhm.
Mario Kart Tour additional DLC with new characters by Super NES Mario and Donkey Kong Jr. You guys can look forward to that. I'm just looking. Oh, there's some more Super Mario Maker 2 DLC coming out that is 35th anniversary themed. Smash DLC and Animal Crossing.
I'm
as
super
well as-
excited for the Animal Crossing DLC because Mario themed furniture is going to be fucking awesome.
Wait. Smash
Oh, yeah.
DLC?
Yeah. It says later this year, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate will have an in-game online tournament using Super Mario series fighters, stages, and items.
Okay.
So it's not like a new character, but
Hey,
Right.
before we move on, can I complain that the Mario 35 is limited? Because I don't understand why they're doing that. That's a really cool idea. And my first thought when I saw it was, "Oh my god, wow, that's so cool! I'm so glad they're doing that." And then they're like, "Oh, but that's going away."
yeah, I'm
Like,
with you.
come on,
My first thought
do
on
that
that
with
was
Metroid
like, oh, yeah, it's
too.
fine,
You know,
but-
do that with other stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say my initial thought was like, oh yeah, whatever. But you're actually right. I agree with you on that. Yeah,
Can
they
you-
shouldn't.
Yeah, that sucks.
that?
It just seems so
Yeah.
arbitrary. Like, why get rid of it? Like, if no one's playing it in 4 months, then okay, I guess get rid of it. But if people are playing it, why not leave
A
it?
Zelda 35 would be the best.
So good.
That'd be
so
great.
good.
Yeah,
The
that's the
last
thing.
one to survive wins.
I'm really excited about what this means for Zelda because if they're going this hard with Mario, they should go. I mean,
Even if they go
Zelda's-
half as hard with Zelda, it'll be good.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah,
Just Breath
Even
of
if
the Wild
nobody-
2 is
next year.
amazing.
What I would like is Ocarina of Majora's Mask retooled for Switch in a collection, and then I would like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD retooled for Switch in a collection.
Yeah.
Because Ocarina
Yeah.
of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D are just too good to leave on a little tiny portable. Those need to be on a TV.
And then Hyrule Warriors 2 could be a thing too.
that could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. Let's take
Devil's
a little
Third.
break, and then when we come back, we'll answer your questions, and then we'll talk about what we've been playing.
Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Vaughn Hyde. I'm the host of IndiePod, an indie games podcast. With the help of my illustrious co-host, the biggest of average Josh Boys, we bring you all the indie games news you need to know, as well as shouting out some amazing indie games over on crowdfunding sites and occasionally derailing to a conversation about big anime chesticles. We are so happy to be part of the HP Video Game Podcast Network alongside so many other awesome gaming podcasts. So if you love indie games, make sure to listen in each and every Friday.
All right, everybody, we are back. This is the part of the show where we answer your listener questions. We've got a few to get through here. But remember, the way you get a hold of us, well, there's many ways. You can get a hold of us on Twitter at ActiveQuestShow, via email at activequestpodcast@gmail.com, or every Wednesday we post our Twitter thread asking for questions and comments from our listeners, and you can comment there. So we've got a few to get through. The first one is from Josh from over at IndiePod. Josh asks, relevant question, do you think the Mario games timed exclusive actually mean something bigger for Nintendo, or are they just stirring up some unnecessary hype? We sort of already touched on this. I think it's both. I think, yeah, maybe we will see those games again at some point.
But Nintendo also just does stuff like that.
Yeah, and they're also just stirring up unnecessary hype. That's what I think.
I forgot who it was, but somebody on Twitter, I want to say it was Zachary Ryan, but it might have been Imran. But someone was saying that this might just be a way to get people that are on the fence to just buy it. You know, instead of being like, well, I'll buy it later, you're just going to buy it right now, which I don't think is very responsible during COVID, but whatever.
That just doesn't hold up for me. It doesn't, because Nintendo shit sells like crazy anyway. And also, what if you don't have a Switch right now and you don't plan on buying one until next year? It doesn't make any sense.
I think it's just going to be released on GameCube and then Wii with their Switch Online service. Is pretty much what I think. Yeah.
Which I'm not looking forward to that being real, only because we're going to have so many people online being like, wow, Nintendo sold me this game and now it's free. You know?
Well, it's not free because you're paying for the service.
But they won't say that.
What I'm saying is, like, the service will have a weaker version.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying people are going to complain because they're dumb.
Yeah, Nintendo fans like to complain.
Shit. Fucking bird. Oh no. Don't give me your hate. Oh no. I've had it already.
Oh, no, I wasn't. No, it's fine.
I've already heard from Nintendo fans. I don't want to annoy them any further.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, he wrote an article about how they could be better, and people got mad at him.
No,
yeah.
I just wanted to see them make cinematic games and test the waters, but no, they don't like me. They don't like me at all.
Josh has a follow-up question where he asks, what's that one embarrassing story about yourself that your parents always tell to others? Oh, Jesus Christ. Josh, do you have one available?
Yeah, I did this ahead of time because otherwise I would, be incoherent and accident. Oh, yeah. When I was 3 years old, maybe 4, my aunt was babysitting me and my parents were not home, and I went out through my window when I was in bed sleeping, and then I don't know what I did in between there, but she knew I was outside because I knocked on the door and asked if I could come back in. And she was like, oh my God, yes, you can come back in. Why were you out here? How did you get out here? But she said I must have just gotten bored.
My favorite part of that story is when you said that you were sleeping and then you went outside, like, as if you were sleepwalking.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
that's...
Yeah, no, she put me to bed and then I left through the window.
Yeah, you just left.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like being there anymore.
I had some 4-year-old stuff to do, I guess.
Yeah. With mine, I flooded our whole house because I was taking a shower, but I sat on the drain and all the water filled up around. And then my mom came in and was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm just like sitting there, and there's just water all over the house that I plugged. Like, I just sat on the drain, so it would just get all stopped up. Yeah, that's a story she tells often. Chris, what's an embarrassing story? You have one?
I guess I don't really have one, but I remember when I was like 2 or 3, I had like this bubble bath, and like I had a beard like Santa.
Oh, nice.
So they always
Nice.
share that picture. So that's something.
I
Oh,
thought.
there's a picture.
Yeah,
I
they've got.
wanna
a
see the
of it.
picture.
Yeah,
Oh,
make
no.
it your
Ooh, I
new
wanna see.
PlayStation
I don't know where it
profile
is right
picture.
now, but yeah.
Chris, I thought you were gonna
Oh.
go like this. I thought you were gonna go. I like Kingdom Hearts
Wow.
as your
He does?
embarrassing story. That's what I thought you were.
That-
gonna
Oh,
Yeah.
oh God. All right. Final question from Josh. If you were a type of cheese, what type would you be? I don't know.
I said Gouda because it's very Gouda.
Yeah, Havarti,
You took mine.
Munster. I don't know. Chris, you have a
Munster's
backup?
good.
Cheddar, because I'm British.
Cheddar. Yeah.
What?
Biggest of average Josh boys.
What's the British cheese called?
Cheddar? He said cheddar.
Oh, cheddar.
Yes,
Okay.
cheddar.
I thought you said shadow. I'm like, I want shadow cheese.
Shadow the cheese.
Yeah, it's like the inverse of cheese. It's cheese divided by cheese.
We have not so much of a question, but a comment from James
Oh
Smith.
God.
They just say titties.
Yeah.
Just titties. I don't. Just a statement. Titties. Okay. All right. We're a
Titties.
family show. We're a family show, James. So I don't really know who you think you are asking that question, but
We
nonetheless.
did cover Kanagawa Jet Girls last week. So
That's true. That's true.
There's that.
And finally, is it an episode of Active Quest if we don't get a question from number one Turner and Hooch fan? They ask, another hot ass coming your way, gamers. Do you think we will get a remastered Burger King games trilogy for next gen? Oh, fucking Christ.
You
dude.
know what?
Oh.
Brands like to be memey. I think it's gonna happen.
Have you played those games? So the games,
Sneak King
No.
was my favorite.
yeah, Sneak King, Big Bumpin', and Pocket Bike Racer. Those are the three games. And
Big Bumpin'.
Big
was
Bumpin'.
good.
That's like a bumper car game.
Sneak
then
King, you
Pocket
just had
Bike-
to sneak up on people and deliver Burger King to them.
Yeah,
It was
and
great.
then Pocket Bike Racer is like Mario Kart. And
And
then
you got to
Turner
buy
and
them
Hooch-
from in the drive-through. You could be like, "Oh, and I'll take an Xbox game."
Yeah, they sold them, and it was a cross-gen game. It was available on Xbox Original and Xbox 360.
Hey Josh, is it backwards compatible?
I don't know, but if it should be, if it's not, it was actually really cool how they did that too. They just put the version on. They put two versions of the game on the disc. It's
Yeah.
kind of neat.
I
I think that they should, and I think Wendy should be the one that does it. Wendy should
Oh
just
my
remaster
God.
them with Dave Thomas instead of Burger King.
Jeez, and Wendy.
Yeah.
And then finally, Turner and Hooch fan number one Turner and Hooch fan asks, says, I would play a next gen game that plays like Dead Space that's set in the abandoned Burger King corporate office. Imagine it featuring you sneaking around trying to uncover where they went horribly wrong in their marketing that led to the King being axed from commercial spots. Oh God, do you guys
I'm on
remember
this-
the King?
I'm on the same frequency as number one Turner and Hooch fan because I loved those ads back in the day. His creepy ass smile, he would just turn
Oh,
and
God.
smile. Do you remember when he was in in the UFC game?
Oh, I do remember.
He was like
that.
at a
What?
boxing game. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Dude,
I have to look into this.
somebody at Burger King in the mid 2000s was like video games because
Yeah.
he's everywhere.
And it's so creepy. He's so creepy. It's like a costume. I don't know if you get the younger listeners maybe don't know what we're talking about. Just look up Burger King costume, I guess, or Burger King King.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Burger
What-
King.
What you would
The
know,
Burger
like
King, yeah.
Burger King has actually just recently started doing like a Twitch campaign in a way where they're donating to Twitch streamers rather than giving them deals, like advertising
Huh.
deals. So it's kind of sketchy.
Very bizarre.
But yeah, very bizarre. But I do think, you know, it would be a good idea to bring these Burger King games back just for the meme.
Josh is sharing a picture here.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
He's so good.
Oh,
all right.
I would play
And
King's Space,
also,
though.
if you like eerie games in offices, which is a very narrow genre, try
is.
out the Stanley Parable. Very good game.
Okay. That's actually a good video game, unlike
Yeah.
the Burger King game.
Mm-hmm.
Come at me, number one Turner and Hooch fan. All right,
He's about to
let's
come back
get-
next week and be like number one Burger King fan.
I know who number one Turner and Hooch fan is, and I swear to God, he went to different GameStops and would buy all of their copies of the Burger King games because they were
What?
99 cents each, and he owned like several, like 30 copies. I don't need, it was crazy amount of copies. I think he bought every copy. It's very bizarre.
Number one Turner and Hooch fan. Let me buy a copy. Yeah, let me buy a copy off you.
Send me one, and then I'll stream it.
I don't know if he still has it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Send me one box.
All right. Let's get to your listener questions. Or no, sorry, not listener questions. We just did listener questions. I'm tired. Let's get to what we've been playing. We've been playing some video games. Josh, I don't know what you're playing because you didn't put your thing on the dock. But
I forgot. I've just been playing Fortnite.
Okay, I've heard of
Tony
that.
Hawk, but yeah.
Okay, so we can all talk about Tony Hawk. Let's talk about Tony Hawk because that's a very good video game. And it's a video game that I didn't know I was really, 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 really excited about until I started playing it. Like, you like, obviously the warehouse demo, that's the thing everybody remembers, right? Well, the game just starts immediately, and as soon as you start playing, you're in the warehouse, and you're right there. And I was just like, oh man, transported back like 20 years, literally. And then, and Superman, the song kicks in by Goldfinger, shout out to them. And I'm just skating around, and I'm like, dude, this is probably the happiest point in my life. Like as a 7-year-old, I had no worries. I didn't know what bills and healthcare was and all this shit, and insurance and responsibilities. Just skating around. I put probably like 50 hours into just the demo as a 7-year-old. Like, I just played it over and over and over. I was so good at it. And so playing this was really special to me, and I guess I didn't realize I was excited about it. So yeah, I've been playing this. What have you guys been thinking
full
about?
disclosure, I purchased it, and then we got a review copy, and then Chris and Joseph went halvesies on a copy for whoever didn't get the review copy.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. I just want to make sure we said we did get one review copy. We also bought 2 copies.
Yes.
I bought the deluxe edition because I thought it was going to be a $60 game because there's 2 fucking games in it, right? And then when I saw it was $40, I'm like, oh well, I'll give them $10 more for the deluxe. Sure.
What comes with that? Doesn't it come with some classic stuff?
The reason I wanted it so bad was because, which I still don't know what this means. I didn't really check for this yet, but I saw it had some retro content, and I'm hoping it means like retro skins or filters or something. I love shit like
Pro
that.
Skater 4 Tony Hawk skin, I think, as well. I saw.
Okay. And it comes with like I think it comes with like a special like cosmetic skate. I don't know. There's a couple of little things. I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but it's only $10 more.
But what have you thought of the game, Josh?
I'm really enjoying it. I knew I was going to be excited for this. Like when this was announced, I was like, that's a day one buy for me. But I'm kind of like in between, kind of halfway to where you were. I didn't know I was going to be this excited about it. I just knew I was going to be excited, but it feels so good to play these games at a time where nostalgia is especially powerful because of everything going on. It's like I'm enjoying them. Even the comfort aspect is very nice right now.
Yeah, that's what it is. I know what this is, so I don't have to worry. Like we'll talk about Avengers here shortly. That's a game that's very unknown. We're like still figuring that game out. Whereas with Tony Hawk, I know exactly what it is, but it looks and sounds and feels so much better than it actually did, so much better than the originals did, that it still feels new,
Yeah, Vicarious Visions fucking nailed it.
Oh my god, yeah, they hit that out of the park.
And the soundtrack is really great because they got most of the stuff. There's a couple of things not there, but they got a lot of the music from the original games, and then they added some stuff that, even though it wasn't in the games before, it feels like it belongs there. And even if
I
you're
completely disagree.
Well, and I was just gonna say, if you're like Chris
nah.
and hate that, you can remove those songs from playing.
Yeah, I know, exactly. That's what I've done. And I'm writing a guide about that, actually, on the game. So, I really didn't like those new songs that they've added. It doesn't mesh well with that whole ska kind of punk feel of the original soundtrack. And I don't know, it feels like that's the part that feels kind of slimy. It feels like it's trying to be current.
I would agree with you if they didn't give you the option to remove them, though. That's why I'm like, it's fine. You can go right into the pause screen and just uncheck them. It's really easy.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. But it would have been nice to get more songs that are ska and punk rock and all that are current.
In terms of the gameplay itself, it's crazy. It's a game that's like right up my alley, where it's super arcadey, but like really challenging, and it's like combo driven.
Yeah.
Like for the younger listeners who maybe haven't played a Tony Hawk game, basically you're just like chaining together combos, and there are so many different moves you can do, and the more you chain together, the higher your multiplier goes and the higher your score is. And there are these parks, and they're all varied, and they have different themes, and you know, just all these like hidden collectibles all over the place. Like if you collect all the little alien plushies, you get to turn into an alien. Like it's cool. it's fucking cool, man. It's like it's a game. It's basically the antithesis of like The Last of Us, I feel like, where you know, The Last of Us is very dark and gritty and grounded and realistic and heavy. This is totally the opposite. It's super lighthearted. It's super silly and weird and arcadey, and you don't have to think too much. You just play, and you sort of almost get into the zone when you're playing, which I really like. Yeah,
we used to have more games like that. We used to have more games like, yeah, there's no story here. This is just a video game.
It just
feels
like
I love
fun.
games with stories, but I also miss having like, yeah, this has levels. Like,
right, it's just levels. Yeah, there's like 20 levels. That's the game. Like, it's great. I think it's awesome, man.
Also, I haven't checked this yet, but I saw Jack Black's video on his YouTube channel where he's Officer Dick. Is that already in the game?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, because
I think he's in the game. Yeah. I
didn't know if it was in there yet or if it was coming later, but yeah, I saw a video where it showed him doing like the picture and the motion capture for Officer Dick, and like it showed him playing, you know, as Officer Dick, and that alone gave me a huge nostalgia dose because I remember, you know, that character, and I remember being able, you know, like that was just Activision did a really good job with not only this remaster and the Crash Bandicoot and the Spyro and Crash and the fucking Crash Team Racing. That's Nitro Fuel. I'm trying to remember what it was. They did a good job with not only remaking these games, they also did a good job of being careful with the details that would be important to people, you know, that grew up with them. They didn't just slap some fresh paint on it and be like, whatever, just release it, you know?
Yeah. But also, they're able to toe that line between traditional and like feeling a bit off for modern players, and then making it feel good with modern controls. You know, it's perfect for that, and Vicarious Visions are just masters at that craft.
It's honestly like one of the best remakes I've ever played. Yeah, like straight up one of the best. I haven't finished it yet, so I don't want to say it is the best remake I've ever played, but it's up there, and it's been getting fantastic reviews, which I'm really happy about.
How funny would it be if this got Game of the Year at the Game Awards? Like, yeah, we're going with this game.
I don't think it qualifies since it's a remake. Maybe it does. Well, Final Fantasy, I guess, does.
Yeah, but that's kind of like a new take on it as well.
You know, that's so funny. Final Fantasy. I guess I didn't realize that Final Fantasy is another big PS1 game that got a remake treatment. And it's one of the best reviewed games of the year, and then now this game. That's so funny. Yeah. Anyway, great game.
But I want to give the perspective of a new player as well, because I've only played Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure as a kid.
You didn't play it?
No.
You didn't play this as a kid?
No.
Wow.
I like the stages I've played so far, like the school and the warehouse. Those are really cool. I love exploring different areas. Great gameplay mechanic and gameplay loop. I think the tutorial system is excellent, as like Tony Hawk's guiding you through it.
Yeah, he's just talking. It's so cool. It feels like he's just
like,
standing there.
Yeah, dude. You just gotta do this alley over here.
Becca was laughing because he kept being like, "Don't do this, or you'll bail."
You'll bail.
I think that was on purpose as well, just to make it sound 90s, dude.
It's a little cheesy, but like it's
great. It's so good. It knows what it is, and it's not ashamed of it. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So thank you, Activision, for the code for that.
Yes, and please keep remastering everything, because so far they've all been great.
Yeah, they have a good track record. Let's talk a little bit about Avengers. So I haven't played as much of it as I had hoped I would get to play by this point, but I've played enough to talk about it, I feel like. And Chris, you've played quite a bit of it as well. So
about 2 hours. Yeah.
Oh, just 2 hours. Okay, so I've played the most here. All right. So first off, I want to say that I think this game's marketing did a really bad job. Like it I mean, you saw how people were reacting to this game prior to it releasing. They weren't very like excited about it. And even playing the beta, people were like, eh. But the story mode's really good.
Yeah.
Like it's like really, really good. It's short, it's like 10 hours long.
Perfect.
And it feels really cinematic. I feel like all the characters get enough screen time or game time, whatever you want to call it. And Kamala Khan, I know I mentioned this before. She is awesome.
Yeah.
She is like one of my favorite characters of the year in terms of games, if not my favorite character of the year, because she kind of reminded me of like, I mean, she's like childlike, right? Where she's trying to, she looks up to the Avengers and she's trying to.
It's a great coming of age story.
Yeah, she's trying to impress them and stuff, and then she actually gets to join them. It's like awesome, and so watching all of that unfold from her point of view is really cool. And yeah, I love that they didn't go with just the white male protagonist in this game.
Yeah,
like it's a superhero game. They totally could have done that, and they didn't do that, and it's kind of ballsy. It shouldn't be ballsy, but it is, and I'm really glad they didn't. And I wasn't familiar with Kamala Khan prior to this, and so now I'm like totally on board with her.
And that's the thing. That's it. That should have been the marketing plan, because I feel like we're so used to those original like 4 or 5 characters from the Avengers, from the MCU movies. So seeing a new character like this, I know she's not new, she's been in the comics for a while, but a new character in the gaming space or like in the mainstream, you know, it's fantastic. Do
you guys think that was intentional? Do you think it was intentional for negative reasons? Like by that, I'll use an example. Like when Sony was like, okay, yeah, you guys go ahead and make The Last of Us, but Ellie can't be on the box. You know, she needs to be in the back of the box.
No, because Captain America, Thor, Black Widow, you know, all those characters, Hulk, they're marketable, you know.
Okay, so you think it was just that they were relatable, more well-known characters?
So I think what they should have done is go with more of an Into the Spider-Verse kind of that angle to it, you know, where, you know, it's about Miles Morales' story, but in this case, it's about Kamala Khan's, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I think if they would so like this game is marketed as a games as service, and it is a games as service, but it doesn't feel that way, at least when you're just playing the story mode. Like, yes, you pick up gear and stuff, and it feels kind of tacked on and unnecessary.
It feels really tacked on, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard a lot of. I haven't played it yet, but I've heard a lot of people say that their favorite parts of this aren't even from the games as service stuff, and that those things aren't even a detriment. They're just kind of there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
They're there. You like want to get new gear, I guess, but the main draw is the story, and like the combat's actually really fun as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, just seeing basically in the game. This isn't a spoiler. She just I think this was revealed at E3 or something, but Kamala Khan is in charge of like getting all of the Avengers back together.
Yeah. And
you get to see them like all joining together, and like, you know, obviously they're mad at each other for what happened at A-Day. I'm not going to spoil that. And yeah, just seeing them all like come together like that, it's really cool. Now, when it comes to the games of service stuff, I haven't really gotten into that a whole lot just because I haven't finished the story yet. And when you go into the games of service portion, it's called Avengers Initiated or something.
Initiative, yeah.
Initiative. It says that there's spoilers, so I didn't want to do that yet. But even from what I've played in the story mode, yeah, the games of service stuff feels totally tacked on. And Chris, we were talking about this before, how prior to this game launching, I was sort of like curious as to how Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix were going to handle the like loot and gear system with superheroes, because in like Destiny or whatever, you get new gear and you put your gear on and that's what you look like. But with a superhero who has an identifiable costume, you can't just like mix and match.
Like, oh, this is my backpack, let me change real quick.
Yeah, like these are like solidified characters who have their memorable costumes, and you can't just mess that up. And so in the game, you can tell that it's tacked on because the gear, it doesn't do it, like it doesn't, there's no cosmetic side to it. It's like invisible. Like literally when you're like wearing it, you can see this like clear, like a clear wristband or like a clear belt that you don't actually see your character wear. It's very strange. It's like Crystal Dynamics wanted to make a Tomb Raider style game that's very narrative driven and, you know, 10 hours long or whatever.
And maybe Disney went, yeah, but we got to have this other stuff in there too. Okay, sure, whatever.
and I think it's actually a compliment to Crystal Dynamics that they are able to like, tick that checkbox that's required of them from Square Enix while still making it good.
Yeah, they got to have their cake and eat it too.
Kind of. Yeah.
I don't know when the best time is to ask this. So if this is better for you guys to talk about later, then that's just. But I just want to make sure we talk about this because I'm curious and I'm sure other people are too. I'd like to know about Spider-Man and how that works with everything, and if it is...
we don't know yet. He's not released
in the game yet.
Oh, he's not. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he's not in the game yet. So basically, how they're doing it is they're gonna release characters seasonally or something like that. After the game.
Okay, so we're not sure on that.
But they'll have their own particular story content as well,
right.
like a mission.
Yeah. So
okay.
And I assume it's going to be like maybe monthly or something because we know we're getting Kate Bishop in October, we're getting Hawkeye in November. Maybe we're getting somebody in December, so something like that.
So my first thought on that is it probably would have been better for them to announce that later because it made it seem like it was a way bigger deal. As far as people that weren't going to have it, you know what I mean? It felt like a crucial part of the game was missing for PC and Xbox people, when really it's like Spider-Man DLC is only on PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like, right. I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess Chris, you'll have more to report back on.
Next week. All I can say is I think the writing is excellent. The comedic writing between Kamala Khan and Bruce Banner is fantastic. Yeah. I laughed a few times.
I love her sucking on that Slurpee while they're around. It reminded me of Hercules with the two. What are those? The two little demon guys.
Pain
and Panic.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, and
Bobcat
and
Goldthwait.
One of them had that like Slurpee thing. He was sucking on. It's just funny. Like I don't know. Yeah.
I wanted to ask another question about it too. How is the balance between single player and multiplayer? Are you ever like, oh fuck, this is something I need people for, or does it feel like you could play the whole game by yourself?
You can play it by yourself.
Yeah, you can totally play the whole thing by yourself, and there are different difficulties as well.
Okay.
And I think the game does a good job of like presenting gear to you in an appropriate way. So like basically, yeah, you'll see what level requirement or whatever recommended level you're supposed to be for a particular mission, and you probably have the gear you need for it. Like you never have to grind, or I haven't had to grind yet. But yeah, I think we're gonna be doing a dedicated episode.
Yeah, for sure.
To that.
Can I ask one more quick question too?
No, you're not allowed. No, go ahead.
I remember a criticism some people had when it was kind of first revealed was, oh, those don't feel like my Avengers. Those feel like kind of like, some other event. You know what I mean? Like there was kind of a disconnect between these don't look and sound like the Avengers. Do these feel like the character? I mean,
they fixed that
different.
Immediately
they
for
did?
me.
Okay.
Because there's like this first level that you're as Kamala Khan. You're like a 13-year-old Kamala Khan, and you're meeting all these heroes for the first time. That's fantastic because you can see her like being such a fan and being so enthusiastic, and it's so refreshing to see a character like that. And then like she's meeting Thor, she's meeting Captain America and Black Widow, and they all feel so human, and that's a great thing with hero writing when you make them feel human. Right?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
a really good point. And honestly,
that makes me happy to hear.
That opening segment is like one of my favorite moments in video games.
Yeah. Whoa.
Honestly.
Whoa.
Honestly.
Really?
Because and I shared this on Twitter, but it just reminded me of me at my first E3.
Yeah.
When I would go around meeting these like basically to me superheroes, people that work at IGN or whomever, just like GameSpot, these kind of people that I look up to, and then like it's crazy because she became an Avenger, and then now like with me to draw the comparison, now I'm writing about video games, like it just like really hit me, I'm not trying to compare myself to an Avenger, but you know what I'm saying, like that sort of
getting to see your heroes and then work among them. Yeah, that's a really cool way for them to do that too.
So it really hit me, yeah. But anyway, we'll talk more about the games of service stuff because I feel like that's where this game is gonna really like make an impression. I feel like, at least in the long tail, because that's its goal, is to stick around for a while. If you want to just get in and out in 10 hours and play, you totally can, but that's not really the
my
intention.
one fear of that is like I hope it doesn't turn into a GTA Online situation where the online is so popular that the story kind of like takes a back shit seat. I don't know. That's
Oh,
my
you
one
mean
worry.
how we didn't get any more content from Rockstar because of GTA Online? Because
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Could have had some awesome Red Dead DLC.
So we're running a little long here. Josh, how are you enjoying the new season of Fortnite? I've played a little bit of it. It's also Marvel themed.
Yeah,
right?
it's super great. I mean, I like it because I like Marvel stuff, but I also just think that the Marvel stuff just clicks really naturally with the graphics and kind of tone. I know superhero stuff can be, more serious and stuff too, but it's also works really well in this kind of setting on its own. So it naturally clicked well, in Fortnite's kind of, goofy and kind of
Yeah.
more colorful. Just seeing the characters in the Avengers game that we were just talking about, graphics, and then seeing them in these graphics at the same time is really cool too. It's like, look how much stuff is possible with these really cool characters. But yeah, it's a really good season so far. I've enjoyed the challenges. They've been really fun. And one of the characters that we're going to get eventually is Wolverine, which I'm super excited for.
Yeah, you have to do his challenges, though.
Yeah.
You gotta find those mysterious claw marks.
I did that, and I found his painting, and there's like a bunch more. But eventually, you get him and alternate costumes, and you can use his claws as your melee, which is dope.
This is my favorite crossover event in the game, I think, just because of how they included all sorts of different Marvel elements to the world, like finding the marks left by the Bifrost
Wolverine
on the ground, before, and then finding Thor's like hammer like in a random spot on the map. It's just awesome.
And then they've got Fantastic Four stuff. They've got X-Men stuff. They've got Avengers stuff. Like they don't just have one kind of part of Marvel. They've got like multiple parts, and that's cool too, because that's one of the cool things about Marvel is look how much stuff there is. Look how many characters there are. And
I was saying this to Josh. I hope Epic Games actually makes a Marvel game at some point, because
they'd be fun.
They've shown the love they have towards that whole world.
I honestly feel like they could have done a better games as service than Crystal Dynamics, because Crystal Dynamics' game is so good from a narrative and like a single player point of view. But I don't know that they've proven themselves in the games as service field yet.
Yeah,
Epic on the other hand,
it's just so weird that Square Enix is pushing like a games as a service game when they have so many single player stuff like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Kingdom Hearts, and
I don't think Square's pushing it. I think Disney went, well, if you're gonna make a Avengers game, we want one of those cool games where you can keep playing forever.
We don't know
like
that
my
for
kid
sure.
plays Destiny, and
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think that Disney saw the success of that genre, but we don't know that for sure.
So yeah, Fortnite, great season so far. We'll keep up with that. I know I will, because I've been doing guides for it every week. I've been covering the challenges. Chris,
and I just have one more game.
Yeah, why don't you just quickly mention, because I'm sorry, we're running a little long today. Cover this game, Arai and the Secret of Seasons.
Eri and the Secret Seasons,
Or Eri, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Eri.
So we got a review code for this as well. I don't know if we mentioned about Avengers, but we've got a review code for that.
I don't think we did, so thank you.
Thank you, Square Enix, and thank you, Modus Games, for this game. So this is a really adorable 3D platformer. I love like the slapstick kind of comedy in there. The graphics are really cute. Great art style to it. It kind of gives me like those PS2 vibes, like Jack and Daxter and Legend of K. So if you're into that, you might be into this. You can tell it's an indie game, unfortunately. Like the text boxes are like blank, like very plain. There's like in Arial text and stuff. It's no like specialty to the text box. Like those little things like that, the nuance to it, it's not there. combat is basic so far. I think it gets a bit better as you go through the game. Like I'm on the first hour or 2 hours of it. So keep that in mind. Platforming is standard fare. Nothing's really surprised me about it yet, but I do like how the game's main mechanic of like using different seasons. So there's like, so far I've got a winter season, so I can freeze everything around the area, right?
Okay.
So that gives you a few platforming elements to the game. And I think
cool.
there's going to be a summer one as well, so everything can be burned around you. So there's some elements that could be promising. But yeah, overall, I'm enjoying the game. It's just average from what I've played so far, but hopefully it gets better as I play more of it.
Interesting. Do you think? So you are gonna keep playing it, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a review of it.
Oh, you're doing a review episode. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. So maybe you'll have more to say next week, or maybe you'll just save it all for the review episode.
Mhm.
Josh, you've got your Bernie Sanders action figure on screen here. I don't know if he has anything he wants to say. He's
No, he
probably
just
real
wants
tired.
everybody to have money to live off of and have.
I want
healthcare.
free healthcare.
Chris, that game sounds pretty cool. I was laughing in the middle of it because it sounded like you used the word indie game as a negative, and I was gonna.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
I know.
Like
I think
what I meant was
it looks low budget.
It looks
Yeah.
low budget, exactly. Indie games can look stunning. They can be amazing. I
Sometimes
didn't mean that as a negative, but what I meant is that there's scope, and I think they've gone a little too high with this one to make the budget work with what they're going for. That's what I meant.
Right.
Maybe, yeah. Cool. So yeah, we'll have dedicated episodes for Marvel's Avengers. We'll be publishing our Mortal Shell review shortly as well, that I did without you guys, and it was terrifying. I gotta say, it was mortifying to not have you guys on the show with me, because it was me carrying the show.
It was probably better than me, but without me there.
No, God, you guys are great. You guys can check that out. We'll have that out shortly. It's being edited right now by our editing.
We got some Tony Hawk time coming up too. We're doing a quest complete on it, which is basically just going to be kind of a loose format, us talking about the game, and then we'll do a review episode on it too.
And we have a few special guests, I think, for that one too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I definitely want to have a review episode for Tony Hawk because I'm just so excited about it. So yeah. So thank you everybody for listening. That's been episode 84. Chris, where can people find you when you're not on the show?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Penwell Writes. You can read my stuff at The Gamer, and you can listen to Go Beyond, a My Hero Academia podcast with me and Vaughn Hyde. We go through each and every episode. It's super fun, and I honestly think we just put out our best episode last week, so please check it out.
I love when you say Go Beyond. I know I've told you that before. I wanted to tell you that I started watching an anime. I started watching what's the one with the big giant people? The giant
Attack on Titan?
Attack on Titan. Yeah. I watched about 2 episodes of that, and I just couldn't do it.
It's so brutal.
It's too. Do they have an anime? I know this sounds really dumb. Like our listeners who watch anime are probably like yelling at their phones right now. Do they have an anime that's like not fucking just over the top? Like like for example, I like Cowboy Bebop. I know it's like not realistic, but Cowboy Bebop is very
fucking awesome. Yes.
Cowboy Bebop's very chill normally. But like in like in Dragon Ball Z where they're just like I can't deal with that. I can't.
Princess Jellyfish is really good.
Okay.
No, I'm being serious. I'm serious. It's good.
Okay. Is My Hero Academia really crazy and over the top?
It's a little over the top sometimes, but it has some really great characters with a lot of depth to them.
Interesting.
I know that I'm gonna sound basic with my recommendations, but Yu Yu Hakusho and Rurouni Kenshin are fucking awesome too.
Oh yeah, I've seen those before, back like 20 years ago. What's the one you
totally
suggested,
spies.
Josh?
I'm just joking.
What's the one you suggested, Josh?
Oh, Princess Jellyfish.
Princess Jellyfish. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll look up.
It's not very long either. It's like this is the story and it's over, but it's pretty good.
Okay.
I'd also recommend Your Lie in April. That's a really great dramatic anime. That really got
what
me.
is it? Your Lie in April?
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix or Hulu, something like that.
Your Lie in April.
Yes. And then go check out Your Name. It's a fantastic anime film.
Okay.
That you should check out.
Check out I don't know if I'm saying this right. Pokemon?
Pokemon?
My grandma always called it that.
The Pokemon.
The Pokemon.
Josh, where can I don't know why we just went off on an anime tangent. Josh, where can people find you when you're not on the show?
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Josh Nichols. Instagram in the same spot, but I don't really use Instagram that much. And I'm writing for Parallax. I mostly just post stupid shit on Instagram or like beer or video games or something. I am writing for Parallax Media still. I'm still working on some more stuff, and I might be starting for another website soon too. I haven't heard back again. I've only heard back once. I don't know. Anyway,
the weird thing, yeah. When you do stuff like this, you have to get used to just not hearing back from people.
It's a bit discouraging, but
it's just
the
thing that happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
As for me, you can find me on Twitter at Joseph Yaden, and you can find my work on Digital Trends, The Escapist, and Game Skinny. So we appreciate everybody for listening, and yeah, we hope you had a great week. Go play some Tony Hawk. Go play some Avengers.
I was gonna say, if you're on the fence with Tony Hawk, just get it. Like, if you're even a little interested, like you'll like it. It's good.
Even if you hate Tony Hawk, play Tony Hawk.
Even if you hate Tony Hawk.
I would say if you don't like arcade style games, you probably wouldn't dig it. But otherwise, it's good.
If you hate everything, play Tony Hawk.
It's on Epic Games Store, and the reason I'm mentioning this is you might have a $10 off coupon from the store, so you might be able to get it, for less money.
So thank you everybody for listening. We will catch you next week for episode 85.
Here we are, getting older all the time. Older all the time. And nothing in my mind.
They were trying to make sure it could be played with one hand.
Hey everybody, it's Dustin from the HP Podcast.
And this is Ben. We're just coming here to tell you about our show, well, the HP Podcast.
The HP Podcast is a weekly video game podcast from handsomephantom.com that's also part of the HP Video Game Podcast Network. And Ben, it's a little hard to describe our show because it's a little bit of everything.
We get into a lot of shenanigans. We also talk about some news. We have some pretty serious topics sometimes, but sometimes our friend Brandon takes his shirt off and just does the show that way. So you should definitely check it out.
I think he got stuck to the seat last time.
It's possible.
So that was a time.
Yeah.
So anyway, check out our show. We would love that.
The HP Podcast.